This is Ella Harper, and Ella is actually the inspiration for the book that we're going to be talking about now, because Ella is the daughter of Lisa Catherine Harper, and Lisa Catherine Harper wrote a book about her pregnancy called A Double Life: Discovering Motherhood. And this is sort of a combination of a memoir and also sort of an intellectual journey. So it is a sort of a different book. By the way, have you read the book, Ella? You're only 8 years old. Now, you planning on maybe checking it out at some point?
Maybe.
Okay. It's a good read.
Thank you.
The book itself, you talk about changes that I don't remember reading about when my wife was pregnant.
Right. And they were changes that I didn't read about when I got pregnant either. I mean, one of the reason the book came about was because when I got pregnant, things began to change very, very quickly, and no one told me just how completely transformative pregnancy was going to be, physically, emotionally, and intellectually. And there are all of these physical changes that happen that no one really tells you about.
You were intellectual.
I was. I was an academic. I was a writer. I have a PhD, and so, of course, what I do is I read and I research, and I do that obsessively. Yeah. And I started investigating my own pregnancy while I was pregnant. You know, things like all of your internal body organs get rearranged, your blood volume increases, dramatically.
But you can research that. You had some perceptions that didn't come out in your research.
Right.
For example, time, your perception of time.
Yes, and what I found is that all of those physical changes were kind of early warning signs for the emotional and the intellectual and the psychological changes. For instance, because I got so sick with morning sickness, I just became grounded in the present and grounded in reality and grounded in the day-to-day unfolding of my life in a way that I had never been before. And so pregnancy really made me slow down and take stock of my life in a way that I don't think that I had. I'd been very used to living in my mind, even though I'd been a dancer.
And you were a dancer, and
I was.
Being pregnant and being sick didn't slow you down too much, I guess.
Not so much. It did in the very beginning.
Yeah.
When I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed, and it did during a very horrible bout of sciatica, which really transformed my perception of pain. That's the other thing that pregnancy does. You're a lot tougher than you think. But then once I got over those two things, I danced. My husband and I danced right up until the week I gave birth.
This was swing dancing,
Swing
right?
dancing, jitterbugging, yeah.
So, Ella, you probably don't remember that.
No.
Do you like to dance, by the way? Was that something that...
It was okay, but then I didn't think it was so fun afterwards.
I was just wondering if, during pregnancy, maybe that somehow influenced you.
We hoped.
Politically, you changed a little bit as well.
I did change, too. One of the things that became very clear to me after I became pregnant, I'd been taking care of Ella, because the book also spans the first 9 months of her life.
Yeah.
It's really about becoming a mother. It's not about pregnancy. It's not about motherhood. It's about that transformation. Right. That's one of the ways the book is really different. But I realized that the home life and the life of the home and the domestic life was much more important to me than I had ever imagined. And so a lot of the research that I had done, a lot of the reading I had done in early feminism suddenly became deeply relevant. The radicalism of the domestic space, why the home matters, how the home can be transformative, and how the home can be interesting. And I felt like, I was never going to quit working. I was never going to keep my daughter from getting an education and from working as well. But I think that we have really undervalued the domestic space. And I think that's done a real disservice to women and children and families. I think that we tend to make the home secondary to the public space. And I think that doesn't do any of us any favors. And I would like to see those issues, child care and flex time and all of the issues that generally get considered women's issues or children's issues become regular issues.
And also, but internally, the body counts more than you realize, I think.
The body counts a lot more than you realize, yes.
Yeah, and I thought that was one of the fascinating discoveries.
Yes.
Okay, so the book is called A Double Life: Discovering Motherhood, and you can meet Lisa. Ella, I don't think will be there, but you can meet Lisa at Booksmith in San Francisco, and that's happening on June 3rd, 6:30 p.m. For more information, you can go to booksmith.com. Thank you both very much for joining us.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it, and thank you. You were very brave here. Marty, Isabel, back to you.
Thank you, Henry.